Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Elizabeth DeRoba. During a press conference on Tuesday, Luzerne County officials announced that for the first time in 10 years, the county will not need to take out a tax revenue anticipation note. A tax revenue anticipation note, or TRAN, is used when the county needs to borrow funds to pay bills prior to tax revenues being available. By not taking out a TRAN this year, officials say the county could save about $400,000 in interest. Luzerne County Manager Romilda Crocomo has also announced that the proposed 2025 budget will include a 0% tax increase. The Luzerne County Council is scheduled to adopt the final 2025 budget on December 10th. Emergency crews responded to a structure fire in Kingston on Tuesday. According to officials, crews were dispatched to 3rd Avenue around 5:30 p.m. Crews say the fire was considered under control by 6 o'clock p.m. No injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The Wilkes-Barre City Police Department is attempting to locate the man shown on screen. Roberto Herrera is described as standing 6 feet tall and weighing 180 pounds. Herrera was last seen around November 4th. He is known to frequent the public square area. Anyone with information regarding Herrera's whereabouts is asked to contact Wilkes-Barre City Police at 570-208-6775. Coming up on WYLN News, a woman is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office on DUI charges. Plus, Pepper Jack's Gift Shop announces an upcoming holiday event. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute and the region's only nationally ranked hospital for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. Our team is ranked among the top 20 in the nation and is your unrivaled partner for orthopedic care. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho.
Hi, my name is Rosalind. I'm 4 years old. Tomorrow's weather will be rainy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Contact Pete Casalica for a home and auto quote today.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopeck and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A woman is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Sherry Phillips is wanted on charges of use/possession of drug paraphernalia, simple possession, and DUI first offense. She's known to have ties to the Nesquehoning area. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821. Pepper Jack's Gift Shop is hosting their 16th annual Holiday Market and Craft Fair in Drums. The craft fair will be held from 10 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, November 16th and Sunday, November 17th. Attendees will be able to shop from dozens of local vendors to find their perfect holiday gift. Many of the vendors will be selling items such as jewelry, clothing, custom home decor, and baked goods. The event will also feature tricky trays, with all donations going to the Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Proceeds will go to creating activity bags and filling wish lists for children at the hospital. Anyone wishing to donate can contact Pepper Jack's Gift Shop at 570-578-5249. All donations can be dropped off at 17 Cooper's Lane in Drums, which is where the market and craft fair will be located. Parking and admission to the event are free. The Hazleton Liberty Band's fall concert will soon be coming to WYLN. Originally performed on Sunday, November 3rd at Christ Lutheran Church, the concert will be aired on WYLN this fall. You can catch the concert on WYLN TV 35 beginning at 7 p.m. on Friday, November 15th and at 2 p.m. on Saturday, November 16th. Coming up on Mountaintops News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Mount Carmel, Part 3. Plus, we learn how to prepare for our surgery on this week's Wellness Wednesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Cooking rice just isn't nice.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker.
Watch. 1, add the white cup for rice. 2, add the blue cup for water. 3, click it.
And let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops, and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook, or undercook, guaranteed.
And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic, ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-640-8545.
Like and follow Wyln News on Facebook for the Wyln News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
The turn of the century saw minor labor strife build up in the anthracite region, and Mount Carmel would prove an epicenter in April 1906. On the corner of 5th and Oak Streets, striking miners would be shot at by state troopers in what became known as the Miners' Dispute. 10 men were wounded, but all of them would survive. One did not necessarily need to work in the mines to be affected by the dangers of the mining business. This fact became clear to Mount Carmel residents on March 5, 1907, when the dynamite house at the Richards Colliery exploded with colossal force. The building had housed 5,000 pounds of dynamite and 60 kegs of black powder, among other explosives. The blast left a 15-foot crater where the dynamite house had been, and also destroyed the supply houses and office building at the Richards Colliery. The colliery's carpenter and blacksmith shops were also damaged. The explosion was powerful enough to rattle houses in Mount Carmel proper, and shatter plate glass windows all along Oak Street. 19 men at the colliery were injured, and one, Louis Dowie, would later pass on from a fractured skull. An investigation afterwards could not conclusively pin down the cause of the explosion, although it laid out the possibility that either steam pipes in the dynamite house had gotten too hot and triggered the explosives, or that rats chewing on the blasting caps had set them off. It was also around the turn of the century that one of Mount Carmel's ghost stories would begin. On July 10, 1903, recent Lithuanian immigrant Annie Metskis was picking huckleberries in the grounds of the Reliance Colliery, hoping to sell enough to pay for her husband's journey to America. It was then that a terrible thunderstorm swept over the town. Metskis ran for cover, eventually reaching the nearest schoolhouse. Maintenance man Frank Lewis was working on the building at the time and tried to tell her to take cover in the nearby coal shed. Metskis, however, did not understand English and instead continued running up the street toward a grove of trees. Several hours later, that was where her body was found face down, having been fatally struck by lightning, the strike having been so powerful that the soles of her shoes were blown clean off, and the pail she'd been carrying was completely crushed. Soon after, reports began of a spectral figure of a woman appearing around the Reliance Colliery, one which would ultimately disappear in a blinding flash of light. Annie Metskis rests today unmarked in Mount Carmel Cemetery, and perhaps her spirit still walks the town to this day. Moviegoers in Mount Carmel would have several options to view motion pictures in the early part of the 20th century. The grandest of them all was the Victoria Theater, which was built by William H. Lee around 1912 on West 3rd Street between Pear and Maple Streets. It would later be run by Victoria Amusement Enterprises, which additionally ran 2 other Victoria theaters in Shamokin and Monterey City. The screen was enlarged in 1953 as part of a general upgrade. The Victoria closed around 1970 and was demolished soon afterwards to be replaced by a bank. More intimate was the State Theater, which was adapted from the earlier Grand Army of the Republic Opera House. It ceased operations in the 1950s, and the Mount Carmel Post Office now stands on site. There was also for a few years the Theatorium on South Oak Street, which originally opened on August 28, 1907. Its capacity was expanded in 1912 to have room for 700 patrons, 500 in the main level and 200 in the balcony. The opening of the Grander Victoria Theatre would spell the end for the Theatorium, which closed in January 1925. The Central Cigar Store and Billiard Parlor, and later the Kinney Shoe Store, would later stand on its site. A few years prior, Mount Carmel had been the shooting location of an early movie. The mover behind the film was local promoter Felix Albert Lurch, who ran numerous local contests to advertise the Mount Carmel area. Taking note of the increasing popularity of motion pictures, Lurch decided to get into the movie business in 1916, with the intent of using local actors and locations to cut down the usually high costs of starring in studio. After testing out filmmaking with a pair of 20-minute films shot as part of another contest, Lurch ran office space in Mount Carmel's Guarantee Trust Building and hired a film crew from New York, planning to make a 5-reel epic picture. Lurch then offered a $20 gold coin as a prize for the person who could write the best screenplay, with the stipulation it had to be 500 words in length and feature as the main character a woman named Flo. The winning entry, by William Hobbs, would be titled A Romance of the Coalfields. To cast his epic, Lurch held another contest, with a prize of $50 offered to the winner as chosen by voters. Ultimately, with 408,190 votes cast for her, Mount Carmel's Verna Wydra, who had performed in numerous stage shows in the borough in previous years, won the honor of starring as Flo Barson in the film. Her brother Frank Wydra won the right, with 470,400 votes to his name, to play leading man Jack Parmley, while the second-place male contender, Mount Carmel firefighter Luke Buckey, will get to play the film's villain, originally named Tough Andy in the script, as a consolation prize. Filming began on June 28, 1916, with exterior shots filmed all over Mount Carmel. While rainy weather would wipe out attempts to film crowd scenes, the picture came along slowly but surely. A real bomb was constructed and detonated for a scene involving dynamite, and Luke Buckey would get a little too into his role as the villain, at one point tossing the actor playing his henchman down a mine shaft for added effect. Lurch's dreams of a major epic would be curtailed when the Philadelphia Movie Editing Board ultimately cut his magnum opus down to 40 minutes in length. Nonetheless, A Romance of the Coalfields was seen by nearly everyone in Mount Carmel when it premiered at the Theatorium on July 24, 1916. It would later be exhibited in New York City as well. Mount Carmel town fathers hoped for a time the film would make the community a nexus of filmmaking, but ultimately the industry would take root further west in Southern California. Felix Lurch would make no further movies, eventually becoming a longtime advertising executive in New England. It is believed that A Romance of the Coalfields has been lost to history, given how quickly early motion picture film degraded over time. The original route of the Center Turnpike through Mount Carmel went through a floodplain and diagonally up the town through Locust Mountain. By 1930, community leaders wanted a more direct approach to the town, as well as to eliminate at-grade crossings of the Lehigh Valley and Pennsylvania railroads. And so a viaduct was built in 1930 on the west end of the borough, carrying automobiles safely over the tracks. A new viaduct was built to replace it in 2003, despite both sets of railroad tracks by then being long gone. 1934 would also see the opening of one of Mount Carmel's landmark eateries when Matucci's Willow Cafe began serving guests on West 4th Street. It remains in business for patrons today. The beginning and the end of the age for coal were beginning to rumble around 1930. King Coal, however, still had much to give to the area. The massive Locust Summit breaker, a twin to Monterey City's St. Nicholas breaker, opened for operation in March of that year. The two twin breakers were recognized as the largest in the world at the time of their completion. Built by the Philadelphia and Rain Coal and Iron Company at a cost of $4 million, the Locust Summit breaker had the capacity to process 1,600 tons of coal an hour and 12,000 square feet of shaker decks for sizing the coal. 42 separate sets of tracks brought the coal to the breaker, and at its peak, its employees worked 3 shifts to process 15,000 tons of coal a day. Time, however, was not on the side of coal mining by this point, and the Locust Summit breaker's days would be numbered. It closed in 1955, putting 1,700 employees out of work. The breaker then stood idle for decades afterwards until it was finally torn down in 2002.
FNL Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier for over 50 years, providing quality products and services to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry garage doors from leading manufacturers in the industry like Rainer. They guarantee parts and service for your home or business, from new construction to replacement doors, inspections, and service calls. FNL Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR or visit FNL Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township or Schuylkill Haven. The American Cancer Society Greater Hazelton Unit's 46th Annual Telethon, working together in 2024, sweeping cancer out the door, will be held Saturday, November 23rd from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts and broadcast live on WYLN TV 35. Make sure you tune in for all the entertainment and make a pledge. That's the 46th Annual Telethon, live on WYLN TV 35, November 23rd. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hi everybody, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Sarah McManus is going to tell us her story. 8 years old, she was traumatized. 16 years old, hit by a car as a pedestrian. Now 23 years old, another car accident. So stay tuned to see how chiropractic care has changed her life.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and we are here today to let you know a little bit about what to expect if you are planning on having a surgery here at the hospital. And with me today is Cami Ruby, who is the director of our surgical services. Welcome, Cami.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for having me.
So, Cami, tell us about some of the surgeries that we do perform here at the hospital so people are aware.
We perform a variety of surgeries at Hazelton. We have 4 general surgeons, and they perform anything from removal of appendix, removal of gallbladders, hernia surgery, bowel resections. All 4 of them are robotically trained. They do hernias robotically, gallbladders robotically, colon resections, and we do have one surgeon who does bariatrics robotically. We also have ears, nose, and throat. They offer from ear tubes up to sinus surgery, thyroidectomies. One of the ENT surgeons, Dr. Hahn, he just brought a new procedure to our community back at the end of last year. It's called Inspire, and it's for sleep apnea for patients who cannot tolerate their CPAP. We also offer gynecological surgeries, anywhere from DNC hysteroscopies to hysterectomies to tubal ligations. And the one gynecologist who just joined us, he is robotically trained for robotic hysterectomies. We have orthopedics, and they do anything from carpal tunnel to total joint replacements. 2 of the orthopods, they do robotic knees.
So I understand mentioning that Dr. Falvello just did his 100th robotic surgery.
Yes, we just reached 100 at the end of last year, and we just celebrated, 100. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And we have podiatry. We do have urology joining us in the very near future.
Wow, so we do offer a lot of different procedures
Yes,
right
we do.
here.
Yes.
So I am talking to my primary care doctor. It is determined that I need to have a surgery. We talk about it. What should I expect? What's the process in which I'm being led until we get the surgery?
So when you're at your surgeon's office, they will set you up for surgery. They will schedule a pre-admission testing call. They will give you the date and time. The nurse will call you. Then the day before, the short stay unit at the hospital will call you somewhere between 3 and 6 at night to go over your meds, to tell you what to take in the morning and what not to take. And we usually bring you in like a half an hour to 2 hours before your surgery time. So if we tell you to come in at 7:30, it doesn't mean your surgery's at 7:30. It means your surgery's at 9 or 9:30. Then you come in and, the staff welcomes you. You'll register out in registration. You'll come into the short stay area. They'll have you change into a hospital gown, and then we'll start an IV if your doctor ordered pre-op antibiotics, which I'm sure he does. And then we'll clean the area, prep the area for surgery, and then we just wait for the OR to come and get you.
So does a doctor come in and talk to you at all prior to, or the anesthesiologist or anyone?
Good question, yes. So anesthesia will come in. They'll go over what type of anesthesia they plan on giving you. They'll have you sign consent, and then the surgeon will come and, make sure that your history and physical is good, you have no complaints, you're not sick, and if you have any questions.
So for someone who doesn't get many surgeries, so forgive me for asking, but does everyone get anesthesia for procedures? Are there procedures that you don't need anesthesia for?
There are some procedures that will be locals, like if it's a local excision of like maybe a mole on your eye, or, for urology, like maybe a local cysto stent removal.
Okay.
But most of like general ortho, ENT.
It's all with anesthesia?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So everything goes well, we have the surgery. Now what should I expect?
So after surgery, you'll go to our recovery room until you meet the criteria to leave, and then you'll end up back in the pre-op area. They'll, make sure your vital signs are stable, everything's good, and they'll get you ready to go home. The doctor will discharge you. You'll get a set of instructions, and then we'll call the next day to make sure everything's okay.
Is there ever a time that someone needs a stay admission into the hospital with the surgery?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It depends, like, if the surgery took longer than anticipated, then we will admit you overnight.
But most of them are one-day surgery,
yes, the
go
majority,
home.
Except the total joints will stay overnight. But actually, some total joints have been going home.
Yeah, same day type thing. So is there anything else you want to share with our audience about your wonderful surgical team here at the hospital?
Just that we do really have a great team.
And you have been here for what, 33 years?
33 years, yes.
So you absolutely know your stuff, and we really appreciate you and your team. So they are very phenomenal. And there you are. If you have any questions, reach out to your primary care and they can guide you through whatever you need. But in the meantime, thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.